Hey there everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to talk about Bootstrap and how we are going to integrate Bootstrap with our Spring MVC project. Okay, so I have taken a break in between. Actually I have taken a long break. Yesterday entirely I haven't shoot, and today you can see is the Christmas night. It's 25th of December and 2020. So New Year is on the floor, and today is obviously Christmas evening, and so Merry Christmas to all of you, whoever is watching this. But yeah, I know I'm going to post this video late, so it's going to be a belated Christmas wish for all of you guys, but I wish you all the happiness. Keep coding, okay? So let's go ahead and let's complete this particular project, and let's do some exciting thing. We are not done yet. We are going to do a whole lot of things, but before that, let's make this particular project look beautiful, okay? And let's apply some CSS to this. And this time we are not going to do manual CSS coding. We'll be using Bootstrap. That's a framework, and that is going to help us to create some amazing websites. Well, I'll be telling you how, but before that, first of all, let me tell you that Bootstrap is a collection of CSS classes. Bootstrap is a collection of CSS classes. So I think you have already know what is a CSS classes. I believe last time we have created a couple of CSS files. If I'll go to web app, to resources, CSS, we have created a couple of CSS file, and here we have written our own CSS classes, isn't it? We have written a couple of CSS classes. So Bootstrap is actually is a collection of this kind of classes. They have pre-built classes. For an example, if I will go to my home page, let's say if I want to style this particular table, then how I'm going to style this particular table? Obviously, I'll be coming back to my style sheet. I'll be creating a new class just like this, maybe dot my table, maybe a class just like this. And let's say if I'm going to increase the table width, just like maybe I can say width equal to 50% or something. And let's say font family, let's say I can change the font family to something else. Well, that's the properties that I've set with my custom created class called my table. So I can copy this particular table name. I can go back to this particular page, wherever it is. Maybe it is our, if I'll go to view student list page, and right here we have basically the table. Just right here we have the table, and right here I can give the class equal to something. The class equal to whatever I have created called my table. Now if I'll go there and if I do refresh, well, anything happened? I think the color has changed and the table got a width as well. Can I go there? Can I go to the class? The class is here, right? Width is 50%. Let me say width is 150%, so that we'll have some visible changes. So can I go there and do a refresh? And you can see, we have we have our table property defined, and all these things we are doing by using this particular CSS class called my table. Okay, that's the class we are using here. That's why it is basically impacting our table property. But yeah, still, let's say if we want to design this particular table and we want to make it really good, we have to go ahead and create our custom class just right here. But you know what, Bootstrap is our friend. Okay, that's going to help us, because right now let's say I'm not a web designer. Okay, obviously if you are going to give me a task that, hey Vilash, make my table look good. So basically what I'm going to do, that I'm going to call one of my front-end developer friend, and I'm going to say him that, hey, could you please help me to make a beautiful table in HTML and CSS? So he will say, okay, Vilash, don't try to give me work in my Christmas night. Obviously I'm enjoying, and I don't want to work for you because it is 25th of December. And obviously we don't have to disturb our front-end developer friend, because we have a bunch of people who really care for us. And those people has created the Bootstrap framework. And in that Bootstrap framework, they have written thousands and thousands of classes, just like this. Just like the way we have created one just right now. They have tons of classes just like this. And they are giving all these classes, those beautiful classes, to us. And they're saying, hey man, take this. Whenever you want this, use one of my styling class and you will see that your website is going to look really, really amazing. So you don't have to do anything. Go to the Bootstrap site, download the Bootstrap, plug and play that Bootstrap in your project and keep using our classes. Okay, so they have their predefined classes name. Just like we have a class here called my table. They have some classes just like in a table. Okay, they have their own custom classes. So once we have Bootstrap available in our project, we can actually use their classes. So first of all, long story short, let me go to the Bootstrap website. Maybe I can go to my Google Chrome, and right here, let me first of all drag this Google Chrome to somewhere here. And right here, let me say Bootstrap. Let's say Bootstrap. Okay, most popular HTML, CSS, and JS library. Obviously, they are really, really popular. And they are telling us to get started. I can simply click here, get started, or I can download the project. But I will not download. I'll tell you a better way to use Bootstrap in a project. But first of all, let me click on get started. And right now, you can see that they are saying to have a quick start to use their CSS classes. And that's what I was telling. They have a bunch of CSS classes. If we want to use their CSS classes, then obviously we have to load their CSS file first. Imagine right here in our project, if I'll go to my Eclipse, right now if I'll go to my JSP page, right now I'm able to use this particular class called my table, which is there in my style sheet. So basically in my JSP page, I'm able to use my table here. How I'm using this particular property from this particular CSS file called mystylesheet.css. That's because first of all, I am loading their CSS file just right here. See, I'm just giving a href, I'm creating a link, and obviously this particular file is there in my folder, which is this one inside CSS. This one is present, and this is my file. Just like that, to use their classes, we have to first of all, plug and play their file inside our project, inside our JSP file. First of all, we need to link that file. We have to push that file to our JSP so that we can use the feature, we can use the classes from the Bootstrap created file. Okay, so as I have said, okay, they have a file, and that file name is called something called bootstrap mean.css. If I'll go here, you can see they have a file here. Man, I cannot see it. Let me copy this particular link. They actually have a link here, and they're saying copy paste the style sheet link into your head tag before all other CSS to load our CSS. Okay, first of all, let me copy paste there, and we'll be reading the things, whatever the file we are copying or whatever the link that we are copying, we will be seeing that right there. Okay, right now let me do command V. Okay, so right now we will see what actually we have copy pasted. So this is basically a link, just like one we have created here. From their side, I have copied the link, and this link, if you see, the href here, first of all, the rel equal to style sheet, type equal to text the CSS, just like our one, you can see the rel equal to style sheet. So they are saying that this is basically a style sheet file, and just like we are loading my stylesheet.css, for them the file name is bootstrap mean.css. And this is actually not in my local folder right now. Obviously, you can see for me, this particular file is my local file folder. It's here, my stylesheet.css. But we do not have a file called bootstrap mean.css because as of now, we have not downloaded Bootstrap and we have not put it in our, class path. So right now, this particular file will come from here. This particular file will come from the internet. Okay, so they have hosted this particular site, I think somewhere in a server. Okay, so you can see this is the link to that particular server. So if I'll go here, if I'll do copy if I'll do copy here, and if I will go to Safari browser, and if I'll do command V, and if I'll do enter, you'll be seeing, okay, this is the file. Okay, this is the CSS file. So all the Bootstrap classes are just right here, and this is a minified version of CSS file. Okay, so what is the minified version? I'm going to come back again. I think in the last video I have given you kind of idea about the minified version of a file, but I'll be telling you what is a minified version maybe after some time. Okay, so basically here they have the classes. So if you're going to see, so these all are the properties. If you're going to read here, this is the property, the colors, the everything, you know, they have different classes created here, and this file is not much readable because this is a minified version, and I'll be telling you what is a minified version. You'll be keep hearing this term minified. Now what is that? Just allow me some sec, you know, I'll be explaining you that. But anyhow, the file is here. Okay, they have hosted this particular file somewhere here. If I'll go to the URL, this is the URL, this is the Bootstrap main file, and this is loading from this particular server, maybe some server, and from there they're hosting this particular file. So in order to load this, obviously we should have an internet connection, because this particular file bootstrap main.css, the main file of Bootstrap, will be right now loading to our website, and obviously we do not have that in our server. This particular file bootstrap main.css will be loaded from a different server, because that's the URL to that server. Not a problem. Right now let me do command S. Actually let me go there right now. Let me do a refresh and let me see whether anything is changing or not. If I go to here, do a refresh, well, something happened, and you can see, Bootstrap is actually changed the button, and it's actually changed the table, and right now it's actually looking a little better, isn't it? So right now, if I'll go back again, if I'll go back to this particular JSP file, if I will remove it for a moment, if I'll do command X, command S to save it, if I'll go here, do a refresh, this is how our table is looking like. And if I am going to remove the class that I have created, just right here, if I'll remove the class, or if I'll do comment out, maybe I can remove the class, this particular class, if I'm going to remove it, command S, if I'm going to go here, if I'm going to do a refresh, this is how my table looks like. Right now I am just going to go to my student.jsp, which is this page. If I'll go here, and if I'll do have my Bootstrap file loaded here in the JSP file, I'm not doing anything. I'm not attaching or plugging and play any classes here as of now. I am just linking the bootstrap main.css file. This is the file which have all the classes, the predefined classes and everything. So whenever my page load, this particular file will automatically convert my look and feel of this website much better. If I do refresh, you can see this is already converted, and this is already looking a little good. Okay, anyhow, we will be doing a whole lot of thing here, but anyhow, for now the Bootstrap is in action. Okay, if I'll go to the other URL I have, what is the other URL? If I'll go to the Java package folder, this is the folder, right? And if I'll go to controller, if I'll go to student controller, if I will go to show our student page, if I'll copy here, if I'll go there, if I do control V here, let's see. Okay, this is how the look and feel is right now. Let's add Bootstrap to this particular page. This particular page is actually add student.jsp. Right here we have the form. We have this particular form. This particular form you are seeing just right here. Now let me make it a little more stylish. So obviously I'll do what? Let me copy this particular link. Let me go back to our student.jsp. Right here already we have couple of CSS, and maybe we will add one more. Okay, I'll do command S. Okay, if I will go back to here, if I do a refresh, see all the text boxes it's got aligned. We have a submit button, we have an add student header. The default Bootstrap styling is on action right now. Okay, we have not used Bootstrap class actually so far, but you can see it's in action. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to tell you. So if I will go to my rstudent.jsp, everything we have it inside a div, isn't it? Inside a div and a div. Where is that div? This is the ending div and this is the starting div, isn't it? Okay, so I'll do one thing. Basically I'll do what? I'll be removing the my font. This is my own custom class, CSS class. I'll be removing this. Let me go back to the table, and let's say I want to style this particular table. So basically I don't need to write any custom CSS by myself. I'll be using some Bootstrap feature. I'll go to the Google Chrome, and right here in the Bootstrap documentation, I'm going to search some the component for tables so that I can style a table. So you can see there are different styles available just right here. This is one particular style, and yeah, this is looking these are different variants of table, right? This looks good. And what else we have? This is one particular style. This is completely dark, and this also look good. This is completely dark. Let me use one of this. Which one will be using? Everything is looking good here. Maybe this one. This one looks good. I can choose any of the design just right here. Which design I'll choose? Any of the design that you are liking. I'll just choose a light one. This looks good. This looks too dark. Maybe I can use this. Okay, so to use this, I have to use just this one, class equal to table striped. Let me copy this. Let me go back to my Eclipse. Where is that? Where is my Eclipse? Eclipse, where are you, man? Just right here. Let me go to studentlist.jsp. Right here, where is my table? My table is just right here. Okay, here, instead of giving my table, instead of giving this particular class, this is my custom class. Let me remove this, and I will paste in the class that I copied from Bootstrap. So this is Bootstrap class, right? Bootstrap class, right? Let me remove this particular class from here. Okay, so now if you remember, in this particular file called student.jsp, we have attached our bootstrap min.css file. There's the file that Bootstrap contains their classes, their styling classes. And right now for our table is this one. And for this, I am using a class. This is basically a Bootstrap class. Right now, let me do one work. Let me go back to my, my main website. Let me do a refresh, and boom, we are seeing something really fancy here. And you can see how basically the look and feel of our website suddenly changed. Okay, now it's looking really good. The table is looking really cool right now, and it's awesome, right? This is fancy. And obviously we have created this fancy looking table in minutes. What about I want to change this button? Okay, I just want to use some Bootstrap button. So let me go back to the Bootstrap. And again, I'll be searching here for a button, and right here for the button, can I get some buttons? Maybe I can say button group, buttons. Okay, you can see there are so many buttons. Let's say for our add button, we will be giving them some kind of a blue button just like this. And for this blue, this is the one, the primary button. Okay, this is the primary. So the class is button primary. Let me copy this particular class called a button primary. Let me copy this. Let me go back to my Eclipse, this one, and right here I have my add button. I will go to studentlist.jsp. I will look for the add button, and this is basically my add button. And right here for this, I have given my own class previously. Let me delete it. Okay, I don't want to use my class. That's looking really dull. I'll be using the Bootstrap class, and look at here. This is the class that I've copied from my Bootstrap website. Okay, this is the button primary. You can copy this, and right now we can go back to our Eclipse, go back here. I'll do a refresh and see that button right now, and boom, the button is changed right now to a blue color button, and that's looking good. Not bad. Not bad at all. Maybe I can bring this button to here. Maybe I can do what? I can go back there. This button is right now inside the center. Maybe I can bring it to left, Command S, and let me do a refresh again, and you can see the button is right now there in the left. So I can give some padding to this particular table, some padding here, some border here, maybe some spacing here. So I can do that. So to do that, again, Bootstrap has that particular class called container. We can use that class. So I will do what? I will put everything that I have right now. What I'll do, so this div starts from here. What's this div is doing? This is this form div, isn't it? Okay, this is this form div. This is basically, okay, this form starts from here, isn't it? This form starts here, ends here. This div starts here, and where it ends, this div starts here and it ends here. Maybe I'll do one thing. Okay, I will not align this thing. I will just remove this left from here. I'll do Command X. I'll put the entire thing inside a div, all my H1 and everything inside a div. My H1, my add button. This is basically my add button. Let me not get confused. I can say this is my add button. Okay. And okay, my add button code is here. Then this is my table. My table completed here. Then there is an image on my page. This is my image. So my image is just right here. Okay, so okay, I have all these things. I am putting everything inside a div and div. Okay, so I will do one thing. I'll apply a class to this div called container. Okay, so container is basically the Bootstrap class, and I'm using this to give the padding, the the gap and the sizes of this particular page. Everything will be changed, I believe. Forgive me if I am confusing you just right here, but I think there is nothing to get confused. See, if I'll do refresh here, I got some nice little padding, the page padding. The table is right now resized. Maybe I can give a space after this add button. I can go there and I can just give a BR here. Okay, so refresh. Okay, I got a space here. Now it looks good. So I have this table, I have this add button. Okay, and everything is looking really, really good. And obviously you can change the button color to anything. You have to go back to your color. You have to choose one from this. Maybe you can give a dark one. Maybe you can give this one. And you have a lot of different options here. Okay, you can choose any one of this, and everything is looking really good. So maybe we'll do one thing. Let me choose one from here. Okay, success, danger, and warning. This is green. This green one, let me try this. This is success, right? So where is that success one? This one is the success. Let me copy this button. Copy that. Let me go back to my student file. Let me go to my button. Where is it? This one. This class, I can change it to something else. Command S. And I can go there right now, do a refresh, and you can see I have the add button. When I hover over here, now it's changed to green. Okay, really fancy. When I click that, obviously this is the page which is going to come. Obviously we are going to format these particular things as well. So things are looking really nice. Bootstrap is helping us to create an awesome table here, and it's also helped us to create a button here, and obviously now this looks really fancy and I really like it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and let me tell you something different right now.